This car right here has driven 700,000 miles. That's like driving to the moon and back, and then almost all the way back to the moon again. It's insane. And today, I'm going to give you the ultimate step-by-step guide on how I did it. Most people think getting a car to this kind of mileage is impossible, that it requires some kind of magic or $1 billion budget. But I'm here to tell you it's not. It's about being smart, being consistent, and treating your car like it's the last one you'll ever own. I bought this car with my own money, and I challenged myself to see how far it could possibly go. We're not just talking about a few tips. I am going to walk you through every single secret, every maintenance task, every single thing I did to keep this engine running for 17 years. And to prove how important this is, I'm going to give the next person who subscribes to this channel $10,000 to buy their own forever car. Seriously, hit that subscribe button right now because you might be the winner. So, if you want your car to last forever and save you literally hundreds of thousands of dollars, you cannot miss a single second of this video. I've documented everything, and I'm breaking down all 17 critical steps that took this car from zero to an absolute legend. Let's get into it. This is how you drive a car 700,000 miles. Don't click away. Alright, let's start with the absolute #1 most critical rule. If you forget everything else in this video, remember this. Regular oil and filter changes. I'm not playing. This is the lifeblood of your engine. For this car, I change the oil and filter every 3,000 to 5,000 miles without fail. Think of it like this. The oil is your engine's blood, and the filter is its kidney. If you let that blood get dirty and clog the kidney, the whole system just dies. It's that simple. We set a recurring alarm on our phones. We put stickers on the windshield. We did literally everything possible to never miss a change. It might seem like a small, annoying chore, but every time you do it, you're basically hitting a reset button on your engine's life. Old, dirty oil is full of tiny metal particles and gunk that grind away at your engine from the inside out. It's a slow death. Fresh oil is clean. Fresh oil is slippery, and it protects all those moving parts, reducing friction and heat, which are the two biggest engine killers. So many people push this off. They say, oh, I'll do it next week, or I can go another 1,000 miles. That is the single biggest mistake you can make. Every single mile you drive on old oil is like making your engine run a marathon after smoking a pack of cigarettes. It's just not going to end well. Be religious about it. Every 3,000 miles like clockwork. This one step alone is probably responsible for 200,000 of the miles on this car. Okay, you're changing your oil regularly. Amazing. But what are you putting in the engine? This is step 2, and it's just as important. Do not cheap out on the oil and filter. I see people do this all the time. They spend $40,000 on a car, then try to save $5 buying the cheapest, no-name oil on the shelf. That is literally like buying a mansion and refusing to lock the doors. You're just asking for trouble. For this car, I only used high-quality, full synthetic oil OM grade filters. Let me break it down. High-quality synthetic oil, engineered in a lab to be super consistent and resist breaking down under high heat. Cheaper conventional oil, less refined, it burns off, it turns to sludge way faster. The same goes for the filter. OM grade filter, better materials inside to trap more of the bad stuff without restricting oil flow. High-quality aftermarket filter. Same deal, better media, better protection. A cheap filter can clog up or let contaminants pass right through. Think of it as an investment. Spending an extra $20 or $30 on a premium oil change every few months is nothing. It's pocket change. That small investment can save you from a $5,000 engine replacement down the road. It's the easiest decision you'll ever make. We literally bought the best stuff we could find every single time. No exceptions. Don't protect a priceless asset with a bargain bin solution. It's just not worth the risk. This next one costs you $0 and will add years to your car's life. It's all about how you drive. I drove this car like I had a glass of water on the dashboard that I couldn't spill. Smooth driving is everything. That means no hard acceleration, no slamming on the gas pedal from a stoplight, no heavy last-second braking. Every time you floor it, you're putting immense stress on the engine transmission axles. It hits everything. It's like forcing a weightlifter to jerk 500 pounds without warming up. Imagine all the thousands of tiny, perfectly balanced parts inside your engine. When you accelerate smoothly, they all work together in harmony. When you slam the gas, you're sending a shockwave through the system. The same goes for braking. You're wearing out your brake pads, your rotors, and you're stressing the suspension and tires. It's a chain reaction of wear and tear that is completely avoidable. So I learned to anticipate. I looked ahead in traffic, I coasted to red lights, I accelerated gently. It's not about driving slow, it's about driving smart. This smooth approach saved countless components from premature failure and saved me a fortune on gas. It's a win-win. So the next time you get in your car, pretend you have a sleeping baby in the back seat. Drive smoothly. Your car's engine and your wallet will thank you for it. It's one of the biggest secrets to longevity. Okay, this tip is especially for anyone living where it gets cold. And it's so simple, but almost nobody does it. You have to warm up your engine briefly before you start driving it hard. When your car sits overnight in the cold, the oil becomes thick, like molasses. It settles at the bottom of the engine in the oil pan. When you first start it, the oil pump has to work extra hard to get that thick, cold oil circulated. It needs to reach the critical parts at the top of the engine. Camshafts, valves. This takes time. It might only be 30 to 60 seconds, but that first minute is the most dangerous time for your engine. If you just start the car and immediately drive off, especially if you rev the engine high, you're basically running metal on metal with no lubrication. It's like trying to run a sprint the second you wake up. Your muscles are cold and you're going to pull something. It causes a massive amount of wear and tear in a very short period. So here's what I did. Every single time it was cold, I'd start the car, buckle my seatbelt, check my mirrors, plug in my phone, choose a song. By the time I did all that, about a minute had passed. The engine idle had dropped a little, which is a sign the oil is starting to circulate and warm up. Then, and only then, would I gently drive off. I wouldn't go full throttle. I'd keep the RPMs low for the first few minutes of the drive. This tiny habit prevents a catastrophic amount of damage over the long run. This next point is the opposite of the last one, but it's just as destructive. You have to avoid frequent short trips where the engine never fully warms up. I'm talking about those 1-mile drives, 2-mile drives to the corner store, to the post office. It might seem harmless, but it's one of the worst things you can do to your car. When your engine is cold, the fuel doesn't burn as efficiently. It creates a lot of condensation, water, inside the engine and the exhaust system. Normally, once the engine gets to its full operating temperature, all of this moisture burns off and gets pushed out the tailpipe. But if you shut the car off before it gets hot enough, that water stays inside. It mixes with the oil and creates a disgusting milky sludge that clogs up oil passages and gums up the engine. Let's talk about the only part of your car that's actually supposed to touch the road, your tires. Keeping your tires properly inflated is so simple, it's almost criminal how many people ignore it. This isn't just about safety, it's about preventing wear and tear on your entire vehicle. Every car has a specific, recommended tire pressure, usually on a sticker inside the driver's door. I check the pressure on this car's tires every 2 weeks. Every 2 weeks. It takes 5 minutes. When your tires are underinflated, the engine has to work much harder to move the car forward because there's more rolling resistance. This wastes gas, but more importantly, it puts extra strain on your engine and transmission. The tires also wear out unevenly and much faster. Overinflating is just as bad. It creates a harsh, bumpy ride that sends shocks and vibrations through your entire suspension system. Your shock struts and bushings, wearing them all out prematurely. It's a nightmare for your car's skeleton. Properly inflated and balanced tires are your car's first line of defense. They act as a cushion for the entire vehicle. I bought a good quality digital tire pressure gauge for $10 and kept it in the glove box. Every other Sunday morning before I drove anywhere, I checked the front left tire. I checked the front right tire. I checked the rear left tire. I checked the rear right tire and adjusted them to the exact PSI recommended by the manufacturer. It seriously takes less time than making a cup of coffee, and it saved me thousands of dollars in fuel, new tires, and suspension repairs. Staying on the topic of tires, just keeping them inflated isn't enough. You have to get them rotated, and you have to get them aligned regularly. I know it sounds like an upsell your mechanic always tries to push on you, but it's absolutely essential for hitting huge mileage numbers. I had the tires rotated every 5,000 to 7,000 miles. Basically, every other oil change. It's non-negotiable. Here's why. Front tires handle the steering. Front tires take most of the braking forces. If you leave them in the same spot, the front tires go bald while the rears still look new. Rotate them, front to back, then back to front. That evens wear and gives maximum life to a set of tires. Saves a lot of money. Alignment matters too. Hitting a pothole or bumping a curb can knock your suspension out of alignment. Alright, this is the final step. This is the one that ties everything together and makes it all possible. I kept meticulous, detailed maintenance records for this car. I'm talking about a binder 3 inches thick, every oil change, every tire rotation, every single repair, no matter how small, documented with the date, documented with the mileage, documented with the receipt for the parts or service. This might sound boring and nerdy, but it is your secret weapon. Having these records does 2 things. First, it lets you track everything and know exactly when the next service is due. No guessing. You can look up the last coolant flush. This is how I built the service checklist. I started with the manufacturer's recommended schedule. I made it even more aggressive. Then I used my records to check off every item as it was completed. It gamified maintenance and made it impossible to forget something. Second, these records give you a full history of the vehicle's health. If a problem comes up, you can look back for related past repairs. And if you ever sell the car, the binder is proof it was loved and cared for. It's the best way to maximize resale value. A simple binder and a pen, the most powerful tools you can have. And there you have it. That is every single secret, every tip, and every strategy I used to get this car to 700,000 miles. It wasn't one magic trick. It was these 17 steps, performed consistently, without fail, for over a decade. It was about treating the car not as a disposable appliance, but as a valuable asset worth preserving. It's about being proactive instead of reactive.